So the next thing is in terms of dictionaries. Dictionaries are a similar data structure, but they have different names in different languages. Every language will use this data structure. So if you go for Java, it is called as a hash map in Java, and it is called as a map in Golang. It's called as the object in JavaScript. So like the different data types, it is called with different names and different things. But this is the most common used data structure. If you want to create an empty dictionary, we can create with the flower braces. But if you want to create the values, so we have the values. First, to get this clarity, I'm doing this one. With a so and so. In the first two ways, you can create an empty dictionary. But if you use a set, you can create it. But sir, if you want to create a dictionary with some values, so or a set, that's where the difference comes. Whenever you are a create, so that's where the difference comes. You will see. When you have within the flower braces values comma separated, it is a set. Whereas if you have column separated, you cannot have multiple columns, only one column, like a pair. So that is called as key column value, key column value. So this is called as a dictionary. You can have one such pair or two pairs or any number of pairs, minimum one pair. Then it's called as a dictionary. If you ask right now, it says it's a dictionary. You have two values, but it will say it is one because it treats it like a pair. So dictionary expects the values like a pairs. Now, you understood how to create a dictionary, but in terms of working with a dictionary, to understand that, you have the dictionaries. So properties of the dictionaries, if I say, so earlier, the same dictionaries used to be unordered, means they will not sort in a ascending or descending. What I mean to say is like, they will not store the order in which you give. So if you go for the case of a set, they will not retain the order in which we give. If you want the order of the sets, there is something called as ordered set. There is one Python module. In the same fashion, for dictionaries to be ordered, there is another module called as ordered dict. But from Python 3.6 onwards, they ensure that the dictionaries are retaining the order. In fact, it solved a lot of problems in this world with respect to Python, I mean to say. So what are those problems solved? You will see when you are using. But earlier, people used to rely on this one to get the values. Means if I take the example of a, say, one dictionary. So B for 2, so 3 for so and so, like that is there. If I do like, Python, B so and so, did you see that the values are coming in the same order you give? But that used to be not the case earlier. So earlier it used to be like, it can come in any order and used to do. Of course, dictionaries will not be indexed by position, like 0th position, first position, like that. We index using these keys only. But still, this ordering will be helpful in many scenarios. Earlier, before Python 3.6, we used to use a module called as order dict. So in this way, we used to define and use it. But now it is not needed anymore, but fine. Okay, sir. So with the dictionary, still now you are creating only small key values. Can we go something more big dictionary? Yes, of course. If I create a dictionary, did you see now? It doesn't mean that all the values should be in the same line. You can have multiple lines also. But did you see that I have multiple things in it? Whatever is there before the colon, it is key. After the colon is value. And you can have like all kinds of keys, values like that. If I print it, did you observe that the values are coming in the same order? So, and one more thing is like when you are making a print generally, so if you are printing things like this, it is a bit difficult. So for printing it in a better way, there is one module called as pprint. Especially for dictionaries only, it would be difficult because in this case, observe, I am printing like very large number of values. See, I'm printing very large number of values. So it is difficult to navigate to each of the values, right? When you do an ordinary print. But there is a module called as from pprint. Till now we are using any module directly, but here we are using like small thing. From preprint, import pprint. If I use the same pprint of the person details, if you see, the difference is like this. If I make an empty print, then you will notice the difference. Ordinary thing, if you print like this, it's not that easy to read. Whereas this one, it's easy to read, right? Okay, it is coming in a proper way. And in fact, if you want, there is another option called as indentation. If I say indent equal to 4, you will notice the difference. The same thing is coming in a better way. Maybe like I don't want this one. If you see now, you will notice, compare to this and this, tell me which is better. The second one is definitely better, right? But there is one problem with this pprint. Did you see the order in which you gave is name should come first? But did you see what happened? None came first. Means it will sort these keys and give in this order. So that is the problem. But if you, sir, if I want to retain the order in which users has given the things, in that case, we need to go for something called as PP. Means from the same pprint, instead of pprint, we need to import PP. If I import PP, PP is like a pretty print. So if I do the same thing, did you observe? If I don't want this one, I will comment it. You will notice it. So you got the indentation. So, and also the values are coming in the same order as they were. Means the order of the values are written, right? So this is what. Now, one point, if you observe carefully here, there were some rules on the keys of the dictionary. Values you can have anything, but for keys, they should be immutable. The first one is a string, second is a string, third is a string, fourth string. So parents is a string, integer. So this is like a floating point value negative, and this is a tuple. So this is a none, and this is a list, but a list we cannot do tuple. Sir, what if I create like a list as a key? Then it will throw in error. What is it saying again? Unhashable list. Hope you remember the story I told. Any object, so first it will take the hash and store. Next time when a value is coming, it compares with that hash. That's it. So that's the reason list we cannot store directly. If I convert to tuple, then we can use it. So hope you understood how to work with the dictionaries. Let me know if you have any doubts. Next. So the most important thing when you are working with the dictionary is how to iterate with them. So it would be a very difficult challenge. So unlike the other languages, because here you will notice some interesting points. Till now, so if you have some values, you loop over the things, right? If I have a string, say each Karen, say I have a string called as Python. So if I do like print of each char here and Python C so and so, did you see I got it? So instead the same way, if I go for a dictionary also, I get it, right? So if I go for a list, if I have some values, I loop over it, I get the values. That is also fine. Same like these things, if I have a dictionary, I need to loop over it. Let's take a small dictionary to help me to loop. Let me take this one. So person details equal to name, Narendra Modi. So A is something, salary, role. So role. Observe very interesting point here. Sorry. Okay. You see in this example, what I will understand, if I'm trying to print this person details. If I ask to print person details, you got all the person details, right? If you want in a better way, you can do like a p print. But just if you want small values, you can just use a print. Now, one interesting point is that earlier I told one rule that all the keys should be immutables. Values you can have anything. And the second thing is, if the same key is repeating twice, you get the latest value. If you observe here, the same key is coming twice, right? Roll CM of Gujarat, roll PM of India. When you print the output, did you see what you got? Roll PM of India. Why? Because if you use the same key and give a value, the latest value will be updated. So that's why what you need to understand. So key should not be duplicate. If a key is present multiple times, you get the same thing. Okay, the next point. When you print a dictionary, you got it. Similarly, for the dictionary, if I ask dot keys, did you see that I got a keys only? But it's not like a list. Observe that. So dot keys will be a list in Python 2. So similarly, in Python 3, it is called as a iterable object, I would say. That is called as a dict iterator. That's a correct word for this data type. It's not a pure data type, but like an iterator. You will learn about iterators afterwards. Similarly, if you ask like dot values, you get only the values. If you ask dot items, you get only the pairs. So like that, from a dictionary, if you want the values or keys or anything, you can ask. If I ask dot keys, I got only keys. Dot values, only values. Dot items, the key values like a list of tuples. But it's like a dict iterator object. So now you understood what's happening. So in the same fashion, when you loop also, the same thing happens. So why for loop is slightly confusing initial people means. So till now, what happens when you loop over any object, when you like a string or a thing, you get all the values, right? But here, slight difference. When you loop over a dictionary, you get only the keys. Sir, what is this strange? Yes. So the point is like whenever you are looping on any dictionary, it will think that you are asking only keys. So when you are looping any dictionary, it will think that you are asking only keys. But sir, what if I want to get values? I told above, right? So like that, we should use explicitly dot values. If you use explicitly dot values, then you get only values. What will I do with single individual values or keys? Then if you give dot items, then it will do both the things. If I do dot items, each time it will give a tuple of 2 elements. So did you see a tuple of key value, key value like that? And also we know the concept of tuple unpacking. When each one is giving a tuple of 2 values, you can use directly or assign to 2 values. Instead of taking to a single variable, you can assign to 2 variables. This concept is called as unpacking. So hope you understood dictionary concept. So now the question is like, how do you apply the enumerate function on it? So now compare. So this is an assignment. Apply enumerate function on each of these and try. See how it's working. So generally, if you have 2 values you are doing, on top of it, if there is enumerate, let's see what will happen. You give a try to understand. So the next thing, coming to the dictionary operations. This is the most important thing. With dictionaries, what all things we can do? I think this one I can explain better in an interactive mode, so that you will understand. So let me take this example and explain one after the other. So if I take a dictionary, so this is my dictionary. Name, Saurav Ganguly. Status, retired. Salary is something. Strike rate, I give. This is an employees. An interesting part is like when you do in a IPython, it will automatically do pprint only. So did you see it is doing pprint.pp? So that's why it is coming that clearly. So that is the beauty. And if you want to get the values from a dictionary, so till now, if you want to get a values from a list, what you did? You did indexing, forward indexing, reverse indexing, all the rules. Tuple, same rules. Set, we cannot index, there is nothing. But for dictionaries, we should use the keys to only to refer. So that's why key should be unique and it should not be immutable. That's the point. If you want any particular thing, you should ask like this. So whatever the dictionary is there, within braces, we need to give whatever the key. The key is a string, that's why I gave in quotes. If it is some other data type, I will give as it is. If I give, I will get. So if I say in the same fashion, employee of status, I get the value. So, but what if I say that statuses? Is there a key called as statuses? No, it will throw in error. So this is the point. In list indexable values, like a list or a tuple or a string, if you give like a wrong index, what happens? It throws a index error. Here it throws a key error. That's a difference. So if you handle also, we should handle with that key error exception. In the same fashion, dictionaries are mutable objects. Means once you have a dictionary, we can add and remove, delete any values. So employee, if I ask, I have some values. Now, if you want to create a new key value pair, you need to give. We cannot just like add a single value. We should give which is the key to that what is the value. So for that we can do like this. We can say, hey, status equal to rejoined. But sir, this key is already present. That's the point. If a key is already present, and if you do like this, it will update that key. Now, did you see? Instead of retired, it became rejoined. So this is how you update an existing value. Then, sir, how do you add a new key value? Same formula. You can do like a employees of that key is equal to value. If I do right now, that new key will be added. And I told from Python 3.6 onwards, it is retaining the order. So whichever is added in the last, it is coming in the last, right? So that's the point. Now, if you want to retrieve the values from a dictionary, there are like three ways in which you can retrieve the values from a dictionary. So the first one, which I told till now, so within the dict of key, whatever the key may be, if it is a string, you do like that. If it is another data type, you do whatever. So, and in the second way, there is something called as dot get. And the third is called as set default. What are these three? In which cases we need to use? So first, you know this concept of strike, right? Let's say it is the key is already there, you get it. The same thing, if you want to get in a different way, you can do dot get. So that way also you get it. Or similarly, if I do like a set default, what is that? It is doing a default. In all three cases, you got the same answer, right? Fine. So when everything is good, fine. Let's take a case where it is not present. Let's say if I say strike rate 2, does it have strike rate 2? No, it throws an error, right? Now I will do the same thing with a get. If I ask strike rate 2, get don't have a value, but it didn't throw an error, right? So the point is like get, it will take a some value called as optional none. If you don't give also, it will does the same thing. So the beauty is like it is printing a none. So in IPython, when the value is none, it will not print by default. If you use a print statement, it will print. So that's a one thing about IPython. But there is none. What is the point of get is that, so when a particular key you are trying to ask, if that key is not present, if I say like no such key, like that you can give an reply, or you can have some kind of default value, say 23 if I get. So, but if I ask employees table, did you see that strike rate 2 is not there? Now, subsequently, what is this point? So now you understood about this kind of syntax. If you have a value, it get. If not, it will throw an error. Whereas coming to the case of get, if you don't have, it will not throw error, it will give none. So if you explicitly give a value, it will return that value you give. But even after that, the dictionary will not be changing. So nothing will happen. Now, coming to the case of a set default. Set default, I told. As the key is present, it will not do anything. But for set default, if I do like a 2, now observe difference. After this, if I ask, hey, what is employee? Did you see what happened? Same like a get. If your key is not present, it will not throw any error. It will assign a default value. Same like that I told, default will be none. That's why did you see strike rate 2 came with a default value of none. Sir, if I now create a strike rate 2 with some value I give, will it take? No. Because the value is key is already created, then it will give that value only. So set default, what it does, if the key is not present, then it will add a key value pair. So if it is present, nothing. So now if I go to the last case, if I say set default of strike rate 3 and some value I give, strike rate 3 is not there. Now if you see, this key is present. Did you see this key is present with the latest value you give? So that is the difference between these two. So the same thing I explained with a different example. So set default and all these things. And next thing is membership check. You already know. You can check for a particular key, whether a key is present or not. So you want to check. So whether name in, so employee. Yes, the key name is present in employee. Good. Similarly, you want to check like salary in, so employee. This is fine. But if I say salary too, it will not throw any error. It's like in membership check, right? It is present, trail, yes, if not false. So you can do like this also. You can check if it is present or not and do, or else you can do the other way. So these are the different set operations we can do. Okay, sir. Set operations, I showed basically few things. Then subsequently, if you want to add more values, let me take the second set of kind of operations. Till now you have seen like adding basic things. So, but if you want to add bulk or if you want to remove, what are the operations? For that, we can go for the next things. You see in this case, so you created an empty dictionary. If you want to create an empty dictionary, this is also one way. If I ask after that, hey, what is the language? It will say it is an empty. So like that, you can add empty values, but this is not a good way. So it will be less optimized. So performance, it's not a good. When you are creating an empty dictionary and adding values, it's better to add all at one shot. But if you create somewhere else and if you are updating afterwards, this is okay. So similarly, if you want to add a key value or update a key value, this is how I told we need to do. So, and after that, so point is like, if you want to add two dictionaries, you cannot do. So let me create like one more dictionary now. So fine. Now we see there are two dictionaries. Language, if I ask, I got it. Python dict, I asked like this. Means there are two. Sir, why it came like this and why it came like this means here there are values length is very big. That's why it did automatically. For small values, it is showing indirectly in this way. This is the beauty of pprint module. So fine. So you have two things. And did you observe, is there anything common? Yes, name is something common and value is also same. Name is same and value is same. So maintainer, it is not there. Latest version, not there. Creator, not there. Means except name, nothing is common. Now, if I try to say language plus, so Python dict, it throw an error. Similarly, like a set, I try to do like a minus operation. It did. So we cannot do those operations. Plus, minus, all these things. But sir, what we can do, the other thing, means like there is something called as an update. Sir, what is this concept of update means? Let me show you. So before showing it, so let me show again what is a language and what is a Python dict. So now if I say language.update of Python dict, now you see what will happen. The language only will change. So say you remember in the in this way, what happens is like whichever is the first, only in that the things will update. If the key is present, the value will be updated. If the key is not present, values will be added. And you see in this case, in earlier language has name Python, and name Python is there in dictionary. Here also the same thing. So creator, Godovan resume. So these two keys are already present. But did you see these three key values are from this second dictionary? Means whenever you have more than one key values to add, you can do like this. So, but this was updated. But sir, if I go for the second one, Python dict, did you see that nothing was changed? Means second value will not be changed. Whichever is the first, only that will be changed. So similarly, if you want to update something, so one specific value, you can do like this also. Sometimes you get a dictionary in runtime which has some values. You can do like this. And one more interesting thing, how do you remove the elements from a dictionary? So till now you understood how to add the values, then how to delete the values. Can I do dot pop? No. So at least in list tuples, indexing is there, we can do. For sets, it will do, but it random. But for tuples, for dictionaries, we need to do a pop. As we are indexing with the keys, we should give the specific key, then it will remove it. So the point is like, if I ask, hey, about the dictionary, what are the values? Do you have maintainer? Yes. If I do pop, it will remove that key value and also gives the value also. And subsequently, if I ask, hey, do you have that? No. And the beauty is like when things are not there, if you try to ask, definitely it throws an error. Observe, it is a key error. So now the point is, for dictionaries, pop comes with an extra optional option called as none. This none is different. Till now, dot get set default means when you are retrieving the values. When you're deleting a values, none means this is interesting. For deleting, none means like when you have a key, don't do anything, delete it and give the value. So whereas when you don't have a particular key, what should be the default action to print, to get the retrieve? So that is what we're saying. If I say none, it says do, or I will say no such key if I give. So instead of deleting nothing, instead of breaking the code, instead of throwing an exception, it will do like this. Hope now you understood the beauty of pop. And there is one more item called as pop item. So pop item means like it will not take any input from us. Pop item, it will randomly delete a key value pair and it will give a tuple of two things. So not randomly, sorry, it will remove the last one because dictionaries are so ordered right now. Did you see the last value we removed? If I ask again, latest version will be removed. You see, if I ask again, the last element will be removed. So if I see, if I ask again, as there is nothing, it will throw an error. So that pop item also have a none. No, it won't take any arguments. So that is how it works. At the same time, I told this powerful operator called as del. You index anything, you slice anything, you bring, it will delete it. Except in a tuple, so any mutable object, it can delete the values. So that's the beauty of it. And so one interesting point, so in the latest versions of dictionaries, they added these attributes. Or like dictionaries merging. If you have two dictionaries, this is very interesting. If I have one dictionary and this is another dictionary, so if I want to add these two dictionaries, so what is the way that you can do? You can do like a dot update of B or B dot update of A. Sir, I don't want to touch both of them. Maybe they are responses of something else. I want you to create something new. So for doing that, they did what this kind concept was unpacking. Hope you remember. So when you do like a tuple unpacking, you did a single asterisk before it. But here for it takes two tuple, so two asterisks. So what it does is means it will take both of them, combine and gets the values. Sir, which is getting first? If you observe carefully, one is present in both of them. For one as a key, I got the value as a 2 because B is next. If I do the same thing, So you can try the commutative property here. Star star A. Did you observe that 1 got a value of 1? Means whichever is in the right side, you got that value. Okay, sir. This is also good. What if I have the third one? Say like this one only I'm assigning to, say this one I'm assigning to C, and this one I'm assigning to D. Now if I ask A, I got it. B, I got it. C, I got it. D, I got it. Now I want to combine all these things together. So let me do like star star A, star star B, star star C, star star D. Can I do like this? Yes, pretty much. You can jolly well do any number of values like this. So that is the point. Now, so similarly, sir, there is another way of doing combining all these dictionaries called as collections.chain map. So this is a relatively new operation. I think 3.6 or 7 at the time it came. So earlier people used to use this only, collections.chain map. Collections is a module. With that we have chain map. You pass the dictionaries, it can do. And from 3.9 onwards, they introduced another operator called as pipe like this. This is a pipe operator. If I give like A pipe B, I get both together. So, or like A pipe B pipe C pipe D. It is same as this one. So they made your life easy from 3.9 onwards. So like this. And this is very interesting. This is pipe equal to means combine and update. This is same like dot update. This is same like A dot update of B. Combine both the values and update to A. This is the update of so and so. And similarly, set union is not commutative. So that you can verify. So these are like theoretical things you can just walk through. So this is all about the dictionaries and dictionary operations. So, and when you want to create a dictionary of your own, so how do you create your own dictionaries in runtime? So that's another important point. So in dictionaries, when you're working, so you can create a dictionary in different ways. I already showed. To summarize, these are the different dictionary ways you can create. So you can create a dictionary with these key values, or you can use a dict built-in function of key equal to value like that, or you can use a dict of list of tuples or list of pairs, anything pairs. So internally, it may not be tuple only, anything you can be. Or there is one more thing called a zip built-in function. I will tell you shortly. So, and you can do like this. And if I do an assert, it will tell that whether everything is correct or not. Now the point is we can create a dictionary from a pairs. So that is the most important point. If you observe this data set, you will understand some interesting point. If you see this data set, did you see if I ask, hey, what is the data? Did you see it's a list of tuples and each one is a pair of two values. If I pass this to dict built-in function, I get the values. Means till now what you have, so you can use a list built-in function. You can pass like a Python, so it can convert, right? So you can use like a tuple built-in function to convert it to a tuple, or you can use a set built-in function to convert it to a set. But you cannot use a dictionary built-in function to convert an iterable to things. It doesn't work like that. It need a pair of values. So only if you have a pair of values, you can generate. Then how do you create a pair of values first of all? So the point is like, you can use this built-in function called as zip. Zip is a built-in function. If you give two values, it will create a pair. Say like if I say Python, say 1, 2, 3, 4, something I give. If you see now what will happen, in Python 2, this zip is a ordinary list. The result will be a list. But in Python 3, it's like an iterator. Means it is optimized to work for large values. So for us to understand in development, convert to a list or for loop point. Converting to a list is easy. Now, did you understand what happened? The character at this position, zeroth position, zeroth position, first position, first position, second position, second position, like that it came. If I give like a much more easy way for you to understand. You see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I give, did you see what happened? I gave till 7, but did you see I got only till 5? Means, so if it has an asymmetric values, it will remove the last values. Only for the things it has a pair, it will give it. So if we have this pair, I need not even convert to list. I can pass to the dict built-in function. I can create a dictionary. Did you observe? And if you give the same values in a reverse order, so whichever is coming first, that will become the key. If I say like, 1, 2, 3, so and so. So whichever is coming first, that will become key. Whichever is coming next, that will become so and so. Sir, what if I give like 3 values? No. So pair means like this only. So dictionaries expects only 2 values, right? But sir, does zip works for 2 values or 3 values? Yes, of course. If I give like a 3 values right now, say like some alphabets I give. Now, did you see what happened? I got only 2 pairs. Means among these 3, whichever is minimum length? Yes. How many values it has? 2. That's why you get those much. So let me give very easiest example so that you will understand. 1, 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 3. If I give like this, what happened? Only one pair. 1 came 4 times, 3 came, 2 came, 3 came, so and so. If each of the values are more times coming, so fine. So how many times all were there? Those many times. Whichever is minimum, you will get. Now you understood the concept of zip and how these two works. Let me take a very simple example so that you will understand how these things are happening. If I take the example of cities, if I have one cities, which is a pair. And similarly, if I am going for one more thing called as countries. So I have cities, I have countries. From these two, if I want to create a dictionary, then first I need to do what? Zip. Zip of cities, comma, countries. If I give, so zip, by default it goes good. But for understanding, you need to convert to a list. Now, did you give, you got a list of pairs? So now, if I pass to a dict built-in function, did you create a dictionary? So like this, if you create, so whichever is coming inside, it will do it. So that is all about it. Now, one more interesting question is like, how do you reverse the keys and the values? So this is the simplest way. You loop over the dictionaries, so key values, you create an empty dictionary and you assign new key values. So that is how you create like a empty dictionary key values. And one more thing is like, whenever you are working with the dictionaries, the most frequent question that you will get is about the frequency analysis and others. So when you have like some kind of string, you need to get the frequency analysis of it. How many times it is present and others. So to understand that, we can use a dictionaries. So take this as an assignment using dictionaries, how to convert and get the character frequencies. Each character, how much time it is coming. I want to get like a dictionary. So just give a try.